This was the first venue I performed at after, the world got shut down. I didn't know what the future was going to hold. Now my picture is there next to Nic Nemeth, competing for the World Championship. So it's, I'm very blessed to be living this life and getting this opportunity, so I have to make the most of it. Thank you very much indeed.
How you doing?
Thank you.
All right.
Just do the same thing I always do. Yeah. But for this, the reaction should carry it. Yeah. And then hopefully, it might, if the reaction's good enough, can have a bit of this before locking up. TNA is where I put the pieces together. Like, I look through my career and it's like, we had a bit of something here and a little something there. You have the pieces, but you're just not really sure how to put them together. It's crazy just how quickly it all came together. I could never have expected it to blow up this quickly. I always had total faith in what I was doing creatively. I've always believed in it. And, I guess there were moments where I was like, man, why, I just felt it would happen, and it just, it wasn't happening for so long, and then it was just this insane, unstoppable wave of positivity. And I'm just trying to be grateful for it all, and just trying to be the best that I can be for for the company, for the fans, and for myself.
This is a really big night for Joe Hendry. I know that from the conversations I've had with him, but this isn't just a big night for Joe Hendry, it's a big night for TNA. This is Genesis. We have more eyeballs on our product right now than in a very, very long time. And I know that Joe feels that, and I know that he takes that seriously. He's the right guy to put the pressure on. He's the right guy to have his name beside Nic Nemeth on the marquee, as they say. Joe Hendry deserves to be there.
It's funny, you get to the building early and you're like, oh, we've got so much time. And then there's little things to do that come and go. So it's, I think the skill of the job is being able to compartmentalize and go, right, I'm doing this thing now, and then I've got to do this thing, I'll go back to this thing, and so you get used to it. You get used to it.
Yeah, this is real. This isn't it's a promo, but this is reality. It's
very crazy. You produced my first match.
I did. Right? Yeah. So this is cool.
So I guess
full circle.
I guess you did a good job. Tonight is the night. Nic Nemeth defends the TNA World Championship, the richest prize in the game, against Joe Hendry, against me. I put in the work, I overcame all the obstacles, and tonight is my chance to prove that I am exactly who I say I am. And that is the face of TNA Wrestling as your new TNA World Champion. And when I do it, the entire world will be chanting, "We believe."
It's a really big night for TNA. And not only am I proud to be in the main event of Genesis as we kick off 2025, all the media that I've done has people on the outside looking in saying, this is the place to be in 2025. And I have interviewers coming up to me and fans saying, this is your year. I'm like, I know. And by your year, they don't mean Nic Nemeth, the Wonder Man, they mean TNA's year. And the responsibility I have in this main event to have it outshine a ridiculously awesome card that is going to steal the show every step of the way. I like having that challenge to where I have to find a way to stand out, steal the show, and still keep this title. And that is, there's a reason I'm in this match, and there's a reason I'm the champion. It's because for the last 20 years, I've found a way to stand out and prove to everyone how good I am, to where I almost don't have to say it anymore. People just, hey man, you're one of the greatest of all time. And you know what? Thank you. I am.
Joe's been in a lot of big matches, but Joe's never been in a match this big. He's never been the guy to put all the pressure on, because the pressure's on him, right? You have to win. And you have to be the one to prove that you can hang in the main event.
Your mental game comes into play with something as big as this, with so much on the line. It's not just a move that happens in the ring or a giant bump that you're worried about, the pull the curtain back. It's not a move, not a fall. It's just competing and performing at your best, your very best. And that's what weighs on a competitor's mind. I mean, if you're in this industry and you don't care, then you don't belong in this industry. And he cares so much.
I know from my conversations with Joe, he feels the real life criticism that Nic has given him that, oh yeah, you're maybe you're just a one-hit wonder, you're a flash in the pan, you're the funny guy, you do the funny music video, you do the things that everyone laughs at and likes, but this isn't something where Joe's gonna go out there and try to make people laugh. He's gotta go in there, he's gotta hang in the main event, one-on-one, at a very important time for this company. And I see Joe walking around today, and I know he's feeling the pressure, but that's a good thing. Pressure's a good thing.
The energy is definitely calm today, the calm before the storm, because he knows what he's getting ready to do. He's had it all in his mental game. Up until yesterday, he's thought about this for as long as he's known this title shot was going to happen. And when it comes out to walking in front of those people, like he's very, I don't want to say he's not excited, but it's going to erupt when he walks through that curtain, when he walks down the ramp and he hears the people saying his name literally, and when the music hits, like it's business.
I've seen Joe get into his own head too much sometimes. I've seen it. It's like he cares too much. Sometimes I see him pacing and I have discussions with him. He can be his own worst enemy when he gets into his own head. Honestly, today I haven't seen a lot of that. I was expecting to see some of that today because being the biggest night, I don't see him getting into his head too much today. I see a pretty calm Joe Hendry.
To me, in wrestling, if you start thinking about, the result or the outcome or what's next or whatever, it's like the mind can wander. All you have to do in this game is what I've learned is like, so this year was just pressure. There was one point during, the summer where I was doing, I was training full time at the Performance Center. I was doing TNA. I was doing NXT, I was doing signings, I was doing appearances, it was like 7 flights a week type thing, and it was just an intense schedule. But what I learned is you just have to focus on what's next. There's time to think about the grandeur of things and all that, but you have to give your very best, and the only way that you can do that is go, what's the next challenge? If I get told I need to do a promo over there in an hour, then that's going to be what I'll need to focus on, and then then I might have the match or whatever. But it's like you have to just tackle each thing as it comes, and then eventually you look back and you're like, whoa, that a lot has happened. So that's kind of how I try to approach things.
He has really worked hard on who he is and the work that we did last year to get to this point. This is a long time coming. I mean, it literally is a year in the making, the journey to the TNA World Championship.
I think probably the most pivotal moment for me in this company, believe it or not, was after I lost the Digital Media Championship, and there were questions about, if Joe Hendry's not the Digital Media Champion. I remember being told the prognosis is not great, and that was scary. And I was put into the tag team with Yuya Uemura, and we did this Joya tag team, and I just, was challenged to change my theme song, and I just thought, but people love this song and blah blah. And I remember I was told, but we know you can do it. And so I came up with this Joya song, but we just committed, and the crowd went nuts. That was the moment that I knew I was gonna get to the top of this company, because I thought, I know a lot of people would have fallen at that hurdle, because a lot of people feel that my entrance is it's my biggest weapon. So if you take that away, what happens to Joe Hendry? And I was able to take away what people perceive as the biggest weapon that I have, and actually still continue to thrive without it and adapt. And that's what this business is to me. So what I started doing was just trying to get better in all areas. That moment when I walked out of Hard to Kill, that reaction, interrupting AJ, that was a moment there for sure. We knew we had something. And I remember in Philadelphia, that's when I was asked to do the concert in Vegas. And I remember I was afraid to do it because The Rock had just done a concert. And I says, man, I just don't know if this is the way to go. And I remember being told, at some point, if you want to be a top guy in this business, you just have to say yes. And that's when I got it. That's when I understood. If you want to be a top talent in this business, you solve problems. You are the one that says yes. And that's when it clicked for me.
Real quick. Okay, we got 3 little pieces. Yeah.
Nic hasn't been given the ball for as long as he's been given the ball by TNA. I think that means something to Nick. Not just being handed the ball and saying run with it, but like being handed the ball over and over again and given different plays and said, no, you're the man, like carry this ball.
We're talking about a seasoned veteran in this industry that came to TNA still with a chip on his shoulder. He came here and solidified what a world champion means to him, and he's defended that title around the world, literally around the world. In Mexico, overseas, everywhere.
Anytime I accomplish a goal, I think mentally, I'm like, oh, this will be the time where I get to enjoy it. And I actually have a problem to where I can't ever enjoy it because I can always find a mistake that I made from the past and how to fix it. So when it comes down tonight to Genesis, it's a 6-month run of going, how can I outdo myself from the night before? We got a lot of hungry people on our roster, and right now, Joe Hendry is ready to strike, and this could be the absolute perfect moment for him and for TNA, and I would be doing a giant disservice to myself, people who've come before me at TNA, and former champions, if I didn't give everything.
Nick is one of those guys, when he says, like, I'm gonna go out and steal the show and I'm gonna prove that I'm the best and I'm the man, like, that does sound good for a soundbite, but he actually means it. And he has a standard that he has set for himself, and he's gonna make you rise to that standard. He's not coming down to your level, you have to step up to his. And I think that's what makes a legitimate champion, is you make other people come up to you. You don't go down to them. So Joe's gotta step it up. Like, he's gonna have to rise to Nick's level. And I know that Nick will probably test him. I know I've done that with young guys before. You test them. That's where it gets real, right? That's where the reality comes in, is like, this is where you either step up and be the man, and if you don't, then I'll keep that spot. I've seen it happen time and time again.
I relish being the champion. Like, this is so great. And it's not because it's cool to hold a title. It's cool to have a company behind you that believes in you, that says, we're giving you a chance to make us that much better with you on top. Can you do it? And I feel like I have done everything in my power and will continue to do so. That is why this means so much. That is why this match means so much. That is why that responsibility of closing out Genesis is for one man, me.
You know, I was reading about one of the greatest fighters of all time, how they prepare to go to the ring, and you know, the Observer was just so shocked at how relaxed they were, and they were like, are you not out fighting next? And they just replied that the work's done, you know, I either did it or I didn't. And I was like, it is true that when you put in the work, if you want to reduce anxiety and nerves and things like that, you just have to know that you did the work.
I got some really good advice from a certain legend. He told me when I'm out there just to really try and savor the moment, because this is somebody who's been there and done everything, and said this moment tonight will be a unique moment in my life, and I should savor every second. So just trying to take it all in, because I feel like taking in that reaction, it kind of builds that organic reaction with the audience as well. So I'm just going to try and be as present in the moment as I can.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe.
I think the difference in this match, to me, is anticipation. There's no more important feeling you can really make the audience feel than anticipation. And the anticipation has been building, and I think the anticipation that Joe is supposed to win this match is very, very high. And I am looking forward to seeing how Joe deals with that anticipation and how the crowd responds to that anticipation.
Oh my God.
think people are expecting Joe and Nick to go in there and beat the crap out of each other in like this extremely violent, vicious, uneasy contest. People are going in expecting this to be fun. Yes, it might not be the most violent match on the card, but there is not going to be another match on the show that has as much anticipation as this match.
We just had a process of eliminating everything that was a waste to the side and the direct approach in his matches. You could see it in his matches, that he just goes for the jugular and goes for the kill. The fans will be there for you. You don't have to worry about where they are at every move. Focus more on the in-ring and exactly what's happening with your opponent, and it's paid off.
Pro wrestling can be a bitch, and it can be a tough bitch that doesn't let the good guys win. And when a good guy comes out on top and wins and does well, it makes me smile. And to me, that's Joe Hendry.
I think if you're put in a position in life where you have the opportunity to achieve something great like this, you have a responsibility to yourself, but also to the people who maybe haven't had those opportunities to make the absolute most of it. So for me, it's about the challenge. It's about delivering. It's about being the best that I can possibly be. It's about being dependable. It's about being someone that the company can count on. It's not a personal validation for me. I really, in my heart, believe that I can be a leader, and I want the opportunity to show it.
I heard it once, someone say, like, what makes the best professional wrestler? The best pro wrestler is the one that can make the crowd react the loudest, the longest. If you've been watching TNA, Joe Hendry gets the loudest and longest reactions. So he's doing something right.
The moment when the cover happened, the air was just pouring out my lungs. It was just so real. It's not sunk in yet. It's not going to sunk in for a long time, but, you know, we got a job to do, you know, so it's like we'll have a couple of non-alcoholic beers tonight, and then it's back at it tomorrow. You know, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made. Like, you'll see, you know, a lot of the guys, I can't name them all. There's too many people who have helped me, but seeing them all when I come to the back, it's just, you know, what a privilege.
Every single thing that is put out from the company, he's on everything. He's got to show up with a smile every day. That rest period is going to be, you know, null and void, you know, for this venture, but he knows that and he's prepared for that. And I've never had a fanfare like this wrapped around myself in my career, but I've seen others for sure. And it's a very demanding schedule. The mental is just as much as the physical, for sure.
So it's been 4 days now since I won the championship. The pressure has gone in a way, because it's like, you know, you're striving to reach a certain point, and then you kind of get into that spot and you go, oh, well, I must be here for a reason. And I don't know why, I just felt like I had like a newfound sense of confidence, I guess. Like, it's almost like when you're wearing the belt, it's like it's armor. Today, you know, I've got a concert, I've got a match with Jake as well, and there will be the backstage segments. So there's a lot to do today, and we've been doing pretty much media all day, every day. So it's like, you know, that is just the job. It's the spot you want, it's the spot you ask for, and when you get it, you better deliver. So the good thing about that is you don't have time to overthink anything. You just go, 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 go. And that's what the last, like, 9 months has been like for me.
Clear the ring, reset, come back.
The timing of it does feel a little surreal, you know, just with the houses that we're drawing now, like the upswing of the industry, like the growth that TNA's had in the last year, like, and for me to be stepping up at this time is just, you know, it's a privilege. It's something I'm grateful for, and you know, but it takes an army of people, as I always say, to get me to this spot. I've had a lot of help, you know. I'm just really enjoying the professional growth that I'm experiencing right now. It's been
quite hard to balance the song, the match. I'm gonna have to get ready for the match. It's quite a lot, but you know, I feel very challenged by tapings nowadays. But that's the spot we're in, and that's where you have to step up. There's a point in time where you just got to go out and get the business done, and that's the mentality, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your very own Joe Hendry concert.
How far can we take this? That's it. That's the question: is how far can we actually take this?
The whole world is going to hell, but that doesn't matter 'cause Joe Hendry won the belt. Joe Hendry won the belt. Everyone, I want to hear you. Everything is terrible except Joe Hendry. When he's not the champion, it offends me.
Every time it feels like, right, it can't go any further, we find another way and we go, well, maybe we can, you know? And I think that keeps me excited. It keeps me challenged.
This is the part of the song where an upcoming challenger cuts me off, and in the middle of my concert,
I think that this job is much more difficult than anyone would ever think it would be, and even it's more difficult than I thought it would be. I promise you, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I could do this pro wrestling stuff, you could, but you have to be willing to sacrifice everything and to give it your best all the time and be able to look at yourself honestly and go, where can we grow, where can we be better, how can we build, you know? And it's like you say, it's a constant grind physically and mentally, but I think that is the task now, is actually delivering consistent results over a long period of time. That's what the champion is supposed to do. I remember someone in management says, do you know what the main quality that we're looking for in a champion is? And I was like, you know, could it be match quality or charisma? Or, and in my mind I was like, the ability to draw sale, like to draw tickets or put people in seats. And the answer was consistency. You want to know exactly how it's going to go down. That's who your champion's supposed to be. Well, we know this part is going to be good. That's what your champion is to be. Now I understand that, and I'm trying my best to live up to it.
I love this job, you know, it's like it's constantly challenging me. I need to be challenged, and this really challenges me, so I know what I need to do. And yeah, I'm feeling good. This is first sort of week as world champion, so long may it continue.